wonderful guest joining us here on the program this morning.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
We have three lovely ladies in the studio with us this morning.
Yes, we've got Barbara Dumigan, who is, I guess you are the one, Barbara, who is putting together this big event that's coming up on October the 18th, or 15th rather, and it's all part of Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which October is. We've got Break the Silence Against Domestic Violence.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How are you doing this morning? Thank you for coming in.
I'm doing great, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
When we've heard about this event that's coming up, we thought, we got to get someone on the program to talk more about that. And not only did you come, but you've also brought a couple of other ladies
Yes.
that we're going to get a chance to speak with here shortly as well. Tell us about Break the Silence Against Domestic Violence.
Well, I myself is a domestic violence survivor. I escaped in a domestic violence relationship over 7 years ago. So I think for myself, I feel that this topic is close to my heart. So I want to be able to raise awareness for women who are struggling in these situations because domestic violence affects us all, like children, men, women, our families. And I think it's so important that we spread awareness on this topic. Because a lot of women, I guess, sometimes feel that they don't have a voice, and it's important that we let them know that we do support those who are struggling on their journeys. And by raising awareness and coming together, I think we can help make a difference in the lives of those that just need that push in the right direction.
Yeah, and it's also a healing process as well.
It is because, half of all women in Canada have experienced, at least one incident of physical or sexual violence from the age of 16. So it starts at such a young age, and I think if we just keep spreading positive awareness, we're able to reach out to those that are in need or at risk.
Wow. So young. I mean, 16. Wow. Who would have thought that it would start at that age? And you mentioned it affects the victim, but it goes beyond that. Yeah, with family, friends, just people that are within their
the community area.
October the 15th, what's going on that day?
Well, we're going to be having guest speakers. So as of right now, I have Kelly Orr, Sheena Pappin, Stephanie Harp, and I also have some performers. Young Medicine is going to be performing at the event, and then it'll be followed by a walk, and we have an opening prayer done by Shirley Sanderson, Consent. So we'll be walking at the Edmonton Legislature, and then we'll be walking across the High Level Bridge and back. Anyone that wants to take part in this event can come out, and they can raise awareness with us for those who are struggling, and while also honoring our survivors, those who took a step in, just honoring our survivors, I guess, who were able to make that choice to leave that situation. And
yeah, and it would be tough. Like yourself, you said you are a victim of domestic violence. You brought in a couple of ladies here that are with us here this morning. We've got Kelly Orr and Sheena. I'm sorry, I forgot you. It slipped my mind.
Okay,
Pappin. And both ladies, you came in here today to share a bit of your stories because you are also victims of domestic violence. Yeah. Maybe Kelly, we could start with you there first. You had mentioned that you had left an abusive relationship. What was it?
Just over 4 years ago.
Over 4 years ago. You maybe tell us a little bit about what was going on and with you at that time. I mean, sure, it must have been really hard thinking that you were alone.
Well, the thing about it is you never really know what kind of relationship you're in until you're right in it. And I was one of those girls that would look at other women in abusive relationships and wonder, like, how come they just can't leave? Why don't they get out? Why don't they just leave? And I didn't realize I was in that relationship until I was stuck in it. And it's a vicious cycle. It's hard to get out. And that's why we're here telling our stories, so that we give a voice for those women, knowing that you can get out. We're here to support you. There's people who are there to listen. as long as you have someone who listens, you can get out. I mean, I was blindsided by good looks and charm. It starts off with, doesn't go straight into physical. For me, it started off with verbal and then the physical. And to me, the most traumatizing was the emotional abuse that came out of it, too. I still struggle with that every day. I'm still building myself up from it. And I'm lucky to have a supportive partner now who is there as my support to build me up with that, too.
Yeah. We've got Barbara Dumigan, who is spearheading this Break the Silence Against Domestic Violence. There's a walk that's coming up on October the 15th. And we've also got Kelly Orr and also Sheena Pappen, who are both victims of domestic violence. And we're going to talk a little bit with Sheena here in just a moment. But Kelly, just getting back to your story, when you finally were able to get out, who did you reach out to? Did you reach out to family? Did you reach out to friends?
For the most part, I was ashamed. I kept a lot of it from my family. I never grew up in an environment like that, so I was very ashamed of it. I was embarrassed. I had a few close friends who knew of my situation and what I was involved in, and they were there as my support and my background. They helped me find resources. They listened to me. I mean, if I had to make a phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning, they were there. They'd pick it up. They'd listen. My mom was a big support, too. She, emotionally, financially, she got me out. She moved me away. I went back to college, and I kind of set my life up on my own away from that person.
And you've got 2 wonderful children. We fast forward here, and great spouse, and you're on, got a great job back home there, and things are really looking up there for you. Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm here. I'm here for any woman who thinks they cannot get out. I am proof that you can leave and that your life can get better. Yeah. Same with Barb and Sheena here too. Yeah. Barbara, when you decided to start this this walk, this is not just the only event that you're part of. There's others that you do throughout the year as well. Yeah, me and Sheena, we both were contestants last year at the Miss Canada Glow pageant. So one of the platforms that they raise awareness about is domestic violence. So me and Sheena hosted Walking to End Violence fashion show last year. So that was something we put together that was a great success, and we had a lot of speakers and performers and fashion designers that came together to help raise awareness for those women who are struggling on their journey with domestic violence and abuse. Yeah. Sheena Pappen is also with us here in the studio this morning. Sheena, you took part in that fashion show there last year. Maybe we could just get a little bit about your story there. We're just about running out of time, but letting the folks know out there what you had gone through and how you got out of your situation.
Absolutely. My story pretty much is very similar to Kelly's. You never really think you're in a situation until you're all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're in it. Same thing, very emotional, very mental abuse that happened. And I, growing up, was always, proud to be Native, but I know my mom is Native and my dad is German, so I always would kind of get racism from both sides. You're too white to be Indian and you're too Indian to be white. And when I met this individual, we were together for about 2 years, and he always made fun of my background, even though he actually was more Native than I was. And it was the mental and the emotional, and my mom and my friends and family, they saw it, but it was like, oh, no, it'll get better, things will change. And I figured, I was late in my 20s, and I just was like, okay, if this relationship doesn't work, where am I going to find someone who can love me and appreciate me for me? Yeah. And I was lucky to have my mom and my sisters who really, really helped support me and leave. And, if it wasn't for my dad, he's been the biggest rock for sure. And then kind of, fast forward, I did meet somebody else who was amazing, and I have a 2-year-old daughter now, and she's absolutely the best thing to ever happen to me in my life. And like Barb said, we were contestants in the Miss Canada Glow pageant, and I was fortunate enough to travel to Vegas in June, and I was awarded Miss Native America Canada. So it's the first title ever.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Congrats.
Thank you. So it's really exciting, and that is our platform, is, raise awareness for women and children in domestic violence situations. And the pageant's happening in March, and I'm excited to be representing, Miss Native America for Canada. And it's just great to be surrounded by, these two amazing women who are doing something. So me and Barb are hosting our second fashion show. It'll probably be in the next few months and stuff like that too. So we're planning something that's more amazing than last year. So yeah, I just, thank you so much for having us share what we went through, and
Absolutely.
just to
Yeah.
be, a role model for people, that it's like, if you are stuck in something, don't be afraid to tell someone, because you won't be, it's not embarrassing. And it's good to reach out to somebody before it gets really bad.
Yeah, and you're both prime examples that great things could happen. And look what happened with the both of you. Is thank you for coming in and sharing your story. Barbara, again, just quickly, the event is coming up on October 15th. What time is that starting?
At 2 o'clock, so it's 2 till 5. The event will take place. So we'll have the speakers, performers, and then followed by a walk. So
Okay.
it'll be.
And you also have your Facebook page, so if people want information, updated information, they could go there.
Yeah, they can definitely go there.
All right. Thank you all for coming in.
Yes,
we're
thank
just
you
about out
all.
of time. All the best and good luck for the event that's coming up.
All right, thank you.